Hello people, how are you doing? I hope that you are well and that all is coming along fine for you. You have no reason to complain and you're grateful for life, for family, for friends, for work, and for everything else that is available to you. This is another day and another episode of Wisdom Moments on K24 with me, C.J Atemo the Sage, and I hope that they have been building you these sessions. As I always say, get in touch with us by sending in messages and just send us the feedback, the questions that you'd want us to handle on this platform so that we can add value to you and be of help to you. So you can send email to cjatsol@gmail.com, cjatsol@gmail.com. You could also, just send a message on the DM and get in touch, send in your feedback, questions that you have, something that you need clarification on, and we'll be so glad to just get back to you and empower you as well. We're still coming to you back from 67 Airport Hotel along Mombasa Road. Have you ever been here? It is around the Syokimau area. If you're coming from the city center or coming from the airport, you've got to come past Gateway Mall. In a few kilometers, you'll find your turn over there. The Google map would really help. If you're coming from the side of Athi River or you're coming from Machakos, just before you get to the Gateway Mall, that is when you're getting around Katani Road, you'll take a left turn and you get to 67 Airport Hotel, where you will find great accommodation, excellent cuisine. You'll get grounds for team building activities, the pool here for you and your family. If you are bringing in your family or your friends, they've got a buzz as well, and different spaces, great activities that you could have over here, both for conferencing and for leisure. So please check it out, come in and have some time of holiday or even work if you need to. Today, I want to talk about managing your brand. See, in the past, when it came to work, people would work for the company. If you go back into the days and you ask, depending on your age and your generation, because I wanted to say if you ask your fathers or your mothers and your parents, but some of you, your parents are quite young right now, but if you ask those whose parents were working in the 70s, the 60s and the 80s, they worked for the companies and they worked to make sure the company was well. They would stay there for 30, 35 years and then retire, be sent home, weighed something small, and they would be so glad that they kept a good name with their bosses for all those years. It was very different because people would not keep shifting from one place to the other. What mattered was the general good. The company is what everybody was building. Nobody was really thinking about their own, just trying to build their own brand or something like that. It's quite different right now because today, people are not just working for the company, they're also working for themselves. The workplace dynamics have changed where nobody is going to put in effort and not take credit for it because they feel that it is going to be helpful for them when it comes to career development. And that is all right. So it means that everyone who comes into the workspace is coming in to build a brand. Two brands actually. One is the brand of the employer. The second is the brand of the employee. In this case, that would be you. How well are you managing your brand? But I've got to start by even asking the question, what is your brand? Or we should even ask, what is a brand? A brand, according to me, is a promise because it represents all the services or every identity that people would have and attach to you, a product or a service that you provide. It is not just the logo. The logo may be the classic conditioning that causes people to remember what you represent, but having a logo or having colors is not really having a brand. Sometimes when people have their colors all over the place and their logos all over the place, people will say they're big on branding. But the biggest thing about branding is not the artwork. It is the service or the product and the emotions and the experience that those elicit. When you come into the workspace, what do people see? What do they expect? Are they expecting efficiency? Are they expecting effectiveness? Or are they expecting just toxic energy? Because that becomes your brand. You have to have a sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what do I represent? When somebody wants me, what are they going to get? If I'm sitting down at an interview and I'm asked, why should we employ you for this job? Or why should we give you this opportunity? Or what are you going to offer here? What exactly can I promise, and not only promise, but deliver? That, ladies and gentlemen, is your personal brand. The people who've got the personal brand of keeping time, of being efficient, managing things well, relating well with people. So when they come in, everybody knows that's what they're going to bring. Other people as well have this brand of, as I say, toxic energy. When you come in, everybody's upset. Everything just goes low. No work can be done. Sometimes you can be skilled, but that is not what people remember about you. Sometimes you can be gifted and educated, but that's not what people remember about you. Eventually, how you make people feel becomes your brand, because that's what they associate you with. Anytime they see you, they know it's going to be a good day, or they feel, well, she just walked into the room, and you see people looking at each other and they feel like there's going to be trouble right here. That's a brand that you have right there. If you have a negative brand, then you have to rebrand yourself. You are the manager of your brand. You determine the perceptions that people have about you. And I'm not talking about you faking anything. I'm talking about you working on your weaknesses and magnifying your strengths. I'm talking about you learning what version of you to bring into spaces so that it can work to your advantage. There are very many people who are skilled and gifted, people who are knowledgeable, who nobody wants to deal with because their branding is terrible. They don't care. They're always late. They get the job done well, but they will get it done late. They're very nasty, so they cannot sit in teams. And sometimes when the job has to be done through teams, nobody wants to have them over there. So as much as they have the skill set, nobody wants them because they don't have chemistry for teams. They don't have respect for people. They're arrogant and very careless. You could be derailing yourself just because your brand management is poor. When people think that a product is not good, they will not buy it. When people think that a service provider is not good, they will not order for them to come. When people think that you are not what they are looking for, they will want nothing to do with you. And sometimes you are more than what they are looking for, but the perceptions that you have created. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, that even how you interact with people in certain spaces, like your social media platforms, is part of your branding? Because people will try and figure out either your personality or your relatability through the spaces like those. When you go to the embassy today, they will be checking out what you do, even with their social media spaces. When you go for an interview, they will check out what you're doing over there. What kind of a person do you want people to think you are in order for you to access the spaces that you want to go into? It's not just the CV. It is not just how well you do the work. It is also how you present yourself. So if you are going to build yourself and want to have career advancement and you want to grow in any area, you have to manage your brand. You will have to learn how to deal with people. You will have to learn how to manage your emotions. You will have to learn how to handle pressure. You will have to learn how to speak the truth. You will have to learn how to build trust with people, because, ladies and gentlemen, trust is great currency. I love to say that trust is the currency of leadership. Not just leadership though, but even business. You have to learn how to keep promises. And when you cannot keep a promise, you communicate. You call and say, I thought I would be done with this, or I'd present this by this time, but I'm not able to. My apologies. Please give me more time for me to do this. Don't just be sitting on reports because you think that is a great report. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody is dispensable one way or the other. Manage your brand and manage it well. These are Wisdom Moments on K24 with me, C.J Atemo.